Welcome, deep divers, to a really baffling situation. Just picture this. A legendary hero returns home, but not to save the day. Oh no. He shows up seemingly as a traitor.
Yeah, arrives in an enemy warship, claims total power.
And it looks like he's actually inviting an invasion. It just sounds, well, completely mad, doesn't it?
It does.
Uh-huh.
But what if, and this is the big question, what if that apparent betrayal was actually, the most brilliant, most high-stakes bluff ever?
Exactly. It immediately makes you second-guess everything. When someone you trust acts so wildly out of character, you naturally assume the worst.
You do. It is human nature.
And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. Our mission is a deep dive into Terrance Dicks' Doctor Who and the Invasion of Time. We're going to try and navigate this maze of Gallifreyan politics, alien threats, and uncover the Doctor's incredibly complex strategy.
We're using the novelization as our main guide here.
That's right. We'll peel back the layers, hopefully finding some surprising truths hidden just beneath the surface.
Get ready, because this is a story where almost nothing is what it first appears to be.
Yeah.
It really challenges you, to look past the obvious and hunt for that deeper game.
Okay, let's dive right in. The story kicks off with the TARDIS, that old blue police box, showing up somewhere very, very strange.
Not just strange, actively hostile. It materializes inside the flagship of the Vardan war fleet.
Yeah, this enormous, terrifying killer whale of space, as the book puts it, and it's heading straight for Gallifrey, remorselessly.
And inside the TARDIS, total confusion. Leela, the warrior companion, and K9, the robot dog, are completely baffled.
Because the Dr. Scarf hat, the whole deal has been acting, quote, odd and arbitrary, even for him.
And then he just strolls out into the Vardan war room.
And looks like he's signing a treaty for treason with the Vardan leader.
It's such a shocking opening. And you need that context, right? Gallifrey isn't just any planet. It's the Time Lord's home, world super advanced, incredibly bureaucratic, obsessed with rules and tradition.
So for their most famous renegade to show up with the enemy.
It's basically heresy. And his answers to Leela and K9, the book says they're brief, snappish replies. He seems distracted, like he's straining to catch a faint message.
Okay, so even right at the start, there's maybe a little hint that something else is going on.
Maybe. And the fact he piloted the TARDIS to this utterly precise destination inside the enemy ship, that feels very deliberate, not random at all.
Good point. That precision is telling. Meanwhile, Leela's pacing like a great cat, totally worried. K9 just says, logically, prognostication in matters concerning the Doctor impossible.
Ha! Classic K9.
Then the Doctor demands complete control over the Time Lords in this treaty, brushes off lawyers' quibbles, signs with some elaborate hieroglyphics, and declares, I am honored to serve the glorious Vardan cause.
While the Vardan fleet, squadron upon squadron in their V formation, just keeps coming closer.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? When someone you trust does something so confusing, how fast do we jump to conclusions? Do we even consider there might be a hidden plan?
It's a powerful narrative hook.
So once he's actually on Gallifrey, the Doctor just takes charge. He pops back to the TARDIS, tells K9 to make Leela shut up, using the blaster for emphasis, no less.
Dramatic, even for him.
His arrival triggers an Amber Alert on the Time Lord scans, but does he hide? Nope. Marches straight into the Chancellor's office, ignores all the guards.
Gives them that lordly way, snatches a staser, offers jelly babies.
Right. And confronts Cardinal Borusa, his old teacher, and then the bombshell. He claims the presidency of the High Council.
Based on this obscure ancient loophole, the inheritance of Rassilon. Because no one else stood for election, apparently.
It's audacious. And this is where you really see the clash, right? Gallifrey's stiff, rigid tradition versus the Doctor's, well, his chaos.
Exactly. Borusa is the Chancellor, acting president, because the last one got assassinated. He represents that establishment. His reaction goes from displeased to astonishment. Maybe even a flicker of amusement at his old student.
But then just weariness at the Doctor's lunatic arrogance.
And we meet the other players. Kellner, the Castellan bit, insecure, thin-faced, opportunistic, always watching his image.
And Andred, commander of the guard. Loyal, but definitely suspicious. And the book notes he's quite struck by Leela's savage beauty.
A little side detail there. But the Doctor's main push is for a super-fast induction ceremony. No waiting, no proper preparations, highly irregular.
He's clearly trying to provoke them, destabilize things, and then there's the redecorating demand.
Ah, yes. His new office needs a specific style, this Orient Empire 073.
With wonderful lead paneling everywhere. Walls, doors, ceiling, floor, the works.
That seems utterly bonkers at the time. Just pure arrogance, maybe. But file that detail away. It's important.
He even banishes Leela, sends her outside to Gallifrey's wilderness, calls it primitive, forbidden to alien savages, says it's for her own protection.
Which looks terrible.
Yeah.
And Kellner, ever the opportunist, quickly sides with this apparent new regime.
So from the outside looking in, it genuinely seems like the Doctor's gone rogue, completely lost it. His actions look random, destructive.
But you still get that sense of intense focus underneath it all.
It makes you wonder about societies, you know? Can they get so stuck in their rules, so complacent, that they can't see when disruption is actually necessary, even if it comes from their own champion?
A dangerous kind of blindness.
Okay, so the Doctor's installed as president-elect, and then the invasion proper begins. K9 gets his moment.
Following precise, pre-programmed instructions from the Doctor. Naturally.
He attacks the transduction barrier control room, creates a breach in what's supposed to be Gallifrey's ultimate defense.
Meanwhile, Leela's been exiled outside with Rodan. Remember her, the attractive but bored young traffic control tech.
Right. And out there, they meet the outsiders.
These are former Time Lords, either kicked out or just left, because, as their leader Nesbin says, all that peace and tranquility can get very boring.
And they start to figure out just how vulnerable Gallifrey really is.
And this is where the Doctor's real plan starts coming into focus. It's brilliant, really. The Vardans' key ability. Traveling on wavelengths.
And reading thoughts.
Exactly. Yeah. Which makes them almost impossible to fight conventionally. They know what you're planning. But suddenly, that bizarre office redecoration.
The lead paneling. Primitive, of course, but so effective, he said.
It's a Faraday cage, basically. A thought-proof room. A sanctuary where he can plan without the Vardans listening in.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the betrayal, banishing Leela, it was all misdirection.
Precisely.
Right.
Protective measures for Leela, and a way to make the Vardans think he was genuinely on their side, lowering their guard. He tells Borusa later, I had to pretend to join them to survive.
And that Gallifrey needed the shock of invasion to wake up.
From its complacency. It's the first big aha moment.
So K9, this great metal rat, glides through the corridors, sets his blaster to maximum boom, takes out the transduction barrier control, lets the Vardans in.
After Rodan specifically said, nothing can get past it. The ultimate defense, breached by the Doctor's own dog.
But Leela, even out in the wilderness, her loyalty never wavers. She insists the Doctor always has a plan. And if reason says he's a traitor, then reason is a liar.
Gotta love Leela. And the outsiders aren't just dropouts. Nesbin reveals they're ready for a fight, another hidden asset the Doctor knew about. Maybe.
It really hammers home how dangerous judging by appearances can be. What looked like treason was actually step one of a desperate defense.
A long game strategy.
Okay, so the Vardans finally materialize inside the Panopticon, the main conference hall, and they look like, well, just guys.
Yeah, 3 tall, stern-faced men in drab green battle dress. The Doctor even calls the reveal disappointing.
But just as everyone's maybe breathing a sigh of relief, thinking, okay, we can handle this, bam, a new threat.
A much nastier one. The Sontarans arrive.
Described as short and squat with immensely wide shoulders, broad, powerful limbs, total contrast to the Vardans.
And Commander Store of the Sontaran Special Space Service basically gloats. He tells everyone the Vardans were just tools. Pawns.
Expendable pawns, he calls them, used simply to open the force field and let us in.
Because the real target, the real prize, is Gallifrey itself. Store calls it the invasion of time.
Whoa. Okay, that escalates things. Significantly.
Totally changes the game. The Sontarans are brutally militaristic. Their only interest, war. Not subtle like the thought-reading Vardans. They're about conquest.
And the Doctor realizes it instantly. That weary comment. The Vardans were only the forerunners, the puppets. They had the technological skills, but not the savagely militaristic will.
It shows the depth of the threat. He didn't just have to fool the Vardans, he had to anticipate the real invaders hiding behind them.
Store's voice is described as harsh, no humor at all. Sontarans apparently occasionally smile at the death throes of an enemy. Charming.
They're also enemies of the Rutens, which places this invasion in a much bigger, universe-spanning conflict. Gallifrey's just been dragged into it.
It's like peeling an onion, isn't it? Layer after layer of deception. You think you see the threat, but there's something worse underneath.
Classic misdirection. The visible problem hides the real danger.
And the Doctor, thinking on his feet again, he pretends to be in agony when a Sontaran shoots him with a staser.
Right, to confirm his identity. Doctor, an old enemy of the Sontarans. It's a calculated risk playing into their expectations.
And Borusa, monitoring all this, picks up on the Doctor's hidden message. Victory over time. He gets what the Sontarans are really after.
So Borusa blasts that high-pitched, howling, screaming, reverberating chime through the speakers, buys the Doctor some time by disorienting the Sontarans.
Brilliant improvisation from both of them. It really makes you ask, how often do we focus on the loud, obvious problem and miss the quiet operator pulling the strings behind the scenes? Always got to ask, who really benefits here?
What's the bigger picture? Crucial questions.
So the Sontarans are out in the open. Now the Doctor can finally actually fight back. He starts putting his real plan into action, gathering his allies.
And the centerpiece of this plan is the DMAT gun, the ultimate weapon.
But building it is complicated. He needs K9 to dive into the Matrix Gallifrey's total knowledge database.
Who needs Rodan, the technician, to actually build the thing, but under hypnosis.
And he needs Borusa to reveal the real Great Key of Rassilon, not the ceremonial one.
Plus, Leela's fighting skills become vital, and even Andred's loyalty, which is now completely swung over to the Doctor's side.
Okay, let's break down how incredibly intricate this is. K9's role is key because he has a non-organic brain, right?
Exactly. The Matrix, the sum total of all information, is basically wide open to the Vardan thought readers. A Time Lord mind couldn't access it safely, but K9 can.
So the Doctor puts the ceremonial sash of Rassilon and the circlet on K9.
Effectively making K9 look like the president to the Vardans. It's a brilliant deception, letting K9 absorb the Matrix data needed for the gun without tipping off the enemy.
Yeah, we're done. Why hypnotize her?
Because she has the technical skill, the quasitronics knowledge, to build the DMAT gun from the Matrix somatics K9 retrieves. But if she knew what she was doing, the Vardans can read her thoughts. Hypnosis bypasses that. She builds it without conscious awareness.
Clever. And the Great Key. Turns out the one everyone sees is just a fake. A facsimile.
Yes, Rassilon hid the real one. Why? To stop any future president from getting total power. A safeguard built into the system itself.
And all this planning, K9 accessing the Matrix, Rodan building the weapon, it all happens in that shielded, lead-lined office.
Sanctuary. That seemingly random detail becomes the linchpin of the entire counterattack.
It's just, wow. Meanwhile, Leela's out there being awesome. She uses an old hunting trick the Doctor taught her to kill a Sontaran.
Aiming for the probic vent in the back of their neck, their only weak spot. Crucial intel.
And Andred, he and some guards were actually plotting to kill the Doctor, thinking he was a traitor.
But the Doctor turns that around too. He uses their plot, manipulates them. He even gives Andred an encephalographic barrier, a mind shield in his helmet to protect him from the Vardans.
He's playing 4D chess here. He even deliberately weakens the quantum force field, makes a sizable hole.
A huge risk, but necessary. It forces the Sontarans to fully materialize, to become solid, making them vulnerable to the DMAT gun.
Which Rodan finishes building, under hypnosis, powered by the real Great Key, a weapon that can literally abolish from existence.
And just in time. Storr has planted a bomb, a fusion grenade, set to destroy Gallifrey.
The final confrontation. Doctor faces Storr, fires the DMAT gun.
And Storr and the grenade just vanish. The book says their energies canceled each other out. A perfect, calculated shot.
Incredible intelligence, planning, deception, completely trumping brute force.
But it does raise those tricky ethical questions again, doesn't it? Using forbidden knowledge, wielding that kind of absolute power, even for the right reasons. What's the cost?
And the cost becomes clear right at the end. The Doctor's unbelievable gamble pays off, Gallifrey is saved, 2 invasions stopped, order restored. But there's a price for the Doctor himself.
Yeah, this is the wisdom of Rassilon part. It's maybe the most shocking twist. The Doctor completely forgets everything. The invasion, his plan, his role in saving the day, gone.
It's not amnesia from injury, is it? It's deliberate.
Seems like it. A pre-programmed failsafe. A mental retreat, the book suggests, designed to protect him from the immense strain, from the knowledge of wielding such power, maybe from the temptation the Matrix represents.
Wow. So Rassilon built in a safety mechanism against the very power he was granting access to. That's foresight.
It's a stark warning about unchecked authority, even heroic authority. Meanwhile, you have Leela in K9.
The supposed alien savage and the machine.
And they show such profound loyalty, such, well, depth. Leela chooses to stay on Gallifrey with Andred. She chooses her mate, Sevatim style.
And K9.
K9 also chooses to stay, not because of programming, but, as he puts it, to look after the mistress-master. He chooses connection.
So the Doctor saves Gallifrey, but loses his memory of it. and loses his companions who find their own paths. He just gets back in the TARDIS, alone, none the wiser about his greatest triumph.
It's incredibly bittersweet.
This whole deep dive, it really shows that winning often takes more than just being strong, doesn't it? You need that foresight, that willingness to deceive, even sacrifice parts of yourself.
It underlines the burden of knowledge, the ethics of power. Heroism isn't simple. It comes at a cost.
And when you think about it bigger picture, maybe sometimes the best solutions aren't the clear, obvious ones. Maybe sometimes you have to embrace the chaos, the contradictions.
Even embrace forgetting, perhaps, if the alternative is being crushed by the weight of it all.
Exactly. Which leaves us with a final thought, something for you to chew on. What does it really mean for a hero to have his memory wiped, to not even know he saved everyone? And if faced with unbearable knowledge or decisions, what might we choose to forget?
A heavy question. Definitely something that lingers long after the story ends.